What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And welcome to my video guide for Dimensions End Tier 10 or Floor 10, whatever you want to call it. Now before we do start, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help my channel guys, and I really do appreciate all the support that you guys give me. So without further ado, let's start this video. So we'll start this video off with the general tips and guide. The first one is to save around 30 to 50% of your abilities for the final wave. Now this is a 5-wave fight, so as much as possible try and save your abilities for the final wave, because once you get there you really want to play a little bit safer, and having some of your abilities are definitely going to help you with that one. Next up is to bring a debuffer / dispeller, characters like Fran, Balthier, Yuffie, or even Vanille. This is to help you dispel all the buffs that the boss actually give themselves, and if you can as well, a buffer will be pretty nice as well, since you can push off the debuffs that some of them will actually apply on you. Next up is to bring a tank / healer. This could be Zack, Kimari, Warrior of Light, Penelo, Ishtola, Rosa, Hope, Selfie, Edge, or Bosch. Honestly guys, it's not completely necessary to have a tank. However, if you do want a safer run, I do highly recommend bringing one. Next up is do not use your summon on the last wave unless you know you're gonna be able to kill it on that particular summon, because basically the boss will counter it with its Mega Flare and basically healing itself as well. So definitely a big no-no. And as for the summon, honestly you can pretty much bring anyone here. Like I said, I'm a little bit biased with Shiva, so I usually put Shiva up instead of other summons. Although it is important to note that in Wave 2, the Heal Wyverns are actually resistant to the fire element. So if you're planning to bring Ifrit, just don't use your summon on the second wave. Okay guys, now that we know the general tips, let's go for the general strategies going by wave. So at Wave 1 is basically a trash wave. So the thing here is you have to prioritize on the mob that actually targets other mobs. Basically, they can revive each other. Now their ult attack does become a little bit annoying, but if you can kill them before they actually revive each other, you should be fine on this wave. Now Wave 2 again is going to be the 2 Heal Wyverns. Delay, Paralyze if you can. If you can actually stop them from buffing themselves, that's already considered a win, and basically they won't go crazy with their attack and obviously hitting you for a lot of damage. Now for Wave 3, this is where I highly recommend use your summon, or you can wait until Wave 4, either or really works. I really kill the Holy Dragon here first. I feel like it's more of a threat rather than the Skull Dragon. The Skull Dragon does have itself, like it will buff itself, so if you can debuff or dispel the buffs from the Skull Dragon, it's pretty much like a non-existent enemy, because it doesn't really have an HP attack, like a Brave plus HP attack, sorry, because it only has Lunge as its HP attack. It's not as scary, whereas the Holy Dragon does have Holy Wrath, so it can do a Brave plus HP attack. Now for Wave 4, just heal through the end ball as necessary. You should be fine. Delay, or you can paralyze it so you can avoid getting hit by that HP damage. If you can delay it as much as you can, then you won't be taking that end ball to your face, or having a tank. Like I said, if you have Edge, you can pretty much dodge that end ball, or if you have Bosch with you, he can take pretty much all the HP damage. You can use Porum as well to reduce the HP damage that that is incoming, and Hope can do that to a certain extent as well. Now for Wave 5, like I said, do not summon. It can heal itself. Take it down by delaying and just play it safe, and you should be fine. And of course, now we move on to the possible party compositions. The first one is the team that you guys are seeing here, which consists of Fran, Leo, Hope with a Shiva summon. Now Fran is basically here for the debuffs, General Leo for the delays, and of course he has that small HP regen, which is actually really nice because Hope doesn't really heal a lot. Although Hope's buffs are really nice since it can reduce the incoming damage for both physical and magic attacks. Now the next team I have for you guys here is going to be a Final Fantasy XIII team, which consists of Lightning, Sarah, and Hope with a Shiva summon. Lightning is here for the delays and big single target damage, Sarah for the debuffs, and Hope for the buffs and small heal again. Now Sarah is quite replaceable for this one. You can bring Vanille instead to make sure you can actually debuff and dispel at the same time. So Vanille is a pretty good character to replace Sarah if you don't have Sarah here. And of course, other characters that can dispel like Balthier can help as well. And speaking of Balthier, we have a Final Fantasy XII team instead of a 13 team on my next party composition. This includes Vayne, Penelo, and Balthier with a Shiva summon. This is pretty identical to party composition 2. Vayne is here more for the damage and delays, and Penelo for the buffs and heals. Balthier is here more for a dispeller and stealing the buffs of the opponents. However, the biggest difference between this and the 13 team is obviously you don't actually have a debuffer. Now, as for the final team I have here for you guys, it's going to be Edge, Selphie, and Caius with a Shiva summon. Edge is going to be essential here for the dodge tanking, and if you do end up getting hit with an HP attack here and there, of course Selphie can heal, and Caius is basically here for the debuffs. Basically, all his debuffs are framed, so basically if you apply it, the bosses actually don't have a space for their actual buffs. So basically they'll be stuck with those debuffs regardless, even though they try to buff themselves. Unless they can cleanse it, there's no way they can actually take it off. So, and on top of my head, I don't think they actually cleanse it, they just actually buff themselves. So you should be safe with this one. And of course, Selphie is a good synergy with Caius. Caius has a very slow EX recharge, so having Selphie here is going to be really great for Caius as well. Alright guys, so we're finally at the end of this video, and of course I'll give you guys my final thoughts on this particular Dimensions End fight. To me personally, I found this fight pretty easy. I think it's one of the more easier floor or tier in the Dimensions End, maybe because I have a lot more options than before. Like, you know, I have a lot of debuffers, and you know, there's a lot of characters that actually can delay, like Lightning, General Leo both came out, and you can still use Aranea. If you still haven't used Aranea, you can, you know, use Aranea here. I do highly suggest using Aranea. I honestly don't know when you're gonna use Aranea for those people who are like waiting for an opportunity to use her. I mean, you can definitely use her on this one as well, but like I said, there's a lot of options when it comes to delayer. Vayne is another one that just came out as well, so there's quite a lot of options for you guys. You just need at least one delayer and you should be fine. A one debuffer and of course a healer or a tank is gonna be pretty useful as well. So overall, in terms of comparing it with other Dimensions End, I didn't really have any issues with this one, so I'm gonna have to put it down in the lower tier of difficulty, probably in the easy side of things. I would say, just because we have so much options when it comes to delaying. Anyway guys, those are my final thoughts for this video. Please remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. It does help my channel, and of course it helps with the YouTube algorithm as well. And if you hit that bell button, you might not miss any videos that I release, so that really helps too if you're really interested. And of course, make sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter, and leave down in the comments below. That's what I nearly forgot. Leave down in the comments below which team you use for this particular Dimensions End. And hopefully this video helped you guys out. Really do appreciate all the support you guys give me. Thank you very much. This is Munchkins logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level.